You're pretty familiar with this subject.
All right.
Polygamy,
Oh.
polyamory. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now I would imagine a lot of brothers, especially because you've spoken on it, that they could probably try to approach you or try to get you to enter some sort of relationship, poly relationship. How's your experience been with that?
Yeah, people, men, they, men be menning. I don't entertain many. So, it's like I don't entertain many people throughout these few years that I have been divorced. But, they do try. They be trying. I'm not, I do poly. I prefer poly. So, I tell a man, like, if you aren't the type of man that can handle multiple women, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be real with you. You're not the man for me. I actually prefer a man to deal with another woman or multiple women. I like those type of men. I was poly before I knew what poly was, I was dating someone in Korea actually before I moved to the States that where we were poly. And
Wow.
that, of course, that didn't start out like it should have. But, once, I linked up with Sis, I was like, okay, she cool. We could do it. We could be a poly thing. Now, it wasn't no homo shit up in there, just to throw that out. There wasn't no 3 ways going on in that motherfucker. But, it's natural for me. I like poly vibes, so I think that more, I mean, the men are, of course they're naturally already like wanting to do that. But I think that women, we need to get on board and understand that if you are already having a problem with your man doing this, then maybe it's in his nature, and maybe you should tell him, well, if you want me to accept this, or if you want this lifestyle, this is what I expect from you. You know what I mean? And then you don't have to be sneaky about it. And also, for the men that are sneaky, that's real cowardly. We got to stop picking cowards as men, because that doesn't make for a good, strong community. We shouldn't be reproducing with men that are cowardly, So there's 2 sides to that, because men get excited when I start talking about polygamy, but you've been cheating on your girlfriend. Like, you're a coward, dude. You're not a candidate for polygamy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, if you're lying out here in these streets and you're being deceptive, you're not a candidate for polygamy. So fix yourself, correct yourself, stop being a coward, stop being scared of the woman that you're dealing with. Be honest with her and allow her to choose the freedom to choose whether she wants to have that lifestyle with you or not. A lot of Americans, black, for those of us who have been over here, we don't necessarily, we haven't been acclimated to that lifestyle, or, we haven't adjusted to that, but it's something for us to look into, because it's something that's been natural to our people for so long. And because we're in an extreme situation too now. I know ideally when we're talking about polygyny, in particular, you want to deal with a man who is, is wealthy enough to have multiple women. But we're at a level right now in the Black community where there is such a need for strong Black masculine men that we're going to have to start accepting some men who maybe not be there financially, but have all the other characteristics of leadership that we would need. And he would also hopefully choose women that are ambitious and can also help with the finances. Of course, we ultimately want to get out of that period, because men can be upset all day and they can say gold digger that, gold digger this. Black women are materialistic, but if you look at all the women of the world and all the races and all the communities, the majority is the man is going to be the provider, and that allows for us to be more feminine and more catering. I think a lot of men resent that, women want providers, because they might deal with women that are very ungrateful, and I don't know, that they don't cater to them and make them feel like, yeah, I want to pay the bills. You know what I mean? It's a way you can operate with a man and make him feel so nurtured and cared for. He's like, yes, I want you. I want to take care of you in every way. You know what I mean? Like, but we've kind of lost the art of catering to our men. We think that that's a bad thing. We don't, a lot of us would know left from right. So, it's still shocking when some women tell me that they don't know how to cook. And I'm like, bitch, you grown and you got a baby. What the fuck? I'm sorry. Yeah. But, it's just something that don't add up. Like, how are you feeding yourself? Like, what? McDonald's, bitch? Look, see,
every night.
it's, you know, it's beyond me. It's beyond me. And the reality is a lot of women put up a front like I'm this and I'm that and this and that. But at home, like they're wishing that they and desiring that they had a masculine man. Like they wish that, but they'll, you know, sound off and be very argumentative towards men, but they're really aching for that. And women need to get out of their own ways when it comes to, you know, that type of energy in regards to our men.
Yeah, I was about to say, do you think that's something that like, do you think the poly lifestyles, that's something that specifically black women, you know, black single mothers should be trying to open up, you know, more to? Because even like you mentioned, they dip back. It's a lot of the baby daddy, baby mama situations. They dip it back and forth. Okay. So I think that's something they should open up to.
Yeah. But here's the thing, because I can't say yes to that without saying that some men need to be better about how they handle and how they manage multiple women. You know, because, you know, of course the kickback is, well, I don't like, he don't deserve this and he don't deserve that. Well, he don't deserve this and that. It sounds like you shouldn't have been dealing with him in the first place. You know, we want to deal with men, regardless of if you're poly or monogamous. We want to be dealing with men that are leaders, men that care about it. We should not even be reproducing with men that don't want to put into the community. Like beyond this family, this family that we have, our kids and us together, I want to make sure that you are going to be working for the community so that we can get the fuck up out of oppression. I'm tired of crackers bitching us. I'm sorry. I'm tired of them bitching us. And we should all be tired of that. And if we're really tired of that, we're going to stop dealing with men that are too feminine and start dealing with men that are masculine and that are leaders. And the men on the flip side are going to stop dealing with women that don't know how to be women, don't know how to be nurturing, don't care to go take care of the baby, sit her ass home for the first couple years of the baby's life, and stop wanting to go out to the club every weekend. You got to stop dealing with women like that. We got to stop dealing with the weaker links. Become the strongest link and link with the strongest motherfuckers, because this weak shit gotta go.
You know, even choosing what men you want to bring around because of your children. You know, what is your experience with that? Do you?
I don't
like,
bring men around my children.
I was about to say, because, you know, some women don't. Some women choose not to date until they get 18.
I can't bring men around my children. I don't do that. You know, they met my first boyfriend after Phil, because I moved in with him and he actually renovated his whole garage for my kids. And the day he finished the renovations, I can't do it. But they only met him once, you know. So, I just, that's something I kind of, and I have my ex-husband, you know, is someone I would very much take into consideration, because I feel like if I don't know if it's going to last a long time, you know, I'll test the waters out, you know, living, you know, go move in and let me see. But, you know, I would have to be very secure, and, you know, that could very much happen. That could be very possible in the near future for me. But, you know, it's just, the reality is I don't even play those games. My ex-husband don't play those games. I'm respectful, and I also don't want to confuse my son or daughter into thinking certain things. You know, I like for them to, you know what I mean? Like, they, you know, they don't need to be in grown folk business. You know?
Yeah. I feel like,
however, I do, of course, if I'm dating someone, I'm gonna see how they deal with children, and, you know, I prefer to date men that have children, so that I can see how they treat their children.
This is like a realm of the internet.
Okay,
like, you know, male center content. You know.
Okay.
But a lot of talk, you know, over there, they love to be kind of going on single mothers, you know, acting like single mothers can't get no love out here in these streets. You know, they be trying to tell other young brothers not to be trying to go for the single moms, and you should be taking care of another man's kids, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. What's your thoughts on that?
I think that's the extreme to feminism. Like, that's the men's, that is the men's defense response to feminism. And why I can understand a lot of the points that they make, because there are a lot of broken people. So on both sides, there's a lot of Black men that need to get themselves together. There's a lot of Black women that get themselves together. For me, I think it's a little bit different, because I was married to both of my children's father. I don't necessarily get as many, like, I don't think men, or at least, I mean, I only go for men that go for me. So I don't have a problem with anyone. Everyone knows I have 2 children by my ex-husband. So I don't know. My ex-husband's still around, so there's, you know, there's certain, as far as in their life, like he's very dominant in their life. I see that, but I do see the talk about the single mothers. Here's the thing. I think that if you as a woman just make yourself the best you, no, whether you have children or not, you'll still be able to attract a man. Like, I don't, like, you know, I feel like women, I think we need to hear some of the critiques of how men view us. We need to understand how men view us so we can better operate to be more, you know, copacetic with our men. And I think the other way around too, for men, they need to hear the extreme opposition as well, so they can see the range of how women feel about them. But the single mothers have a bad rap for being real extra with child support, using tools against the father, using emotions, you know, because this white oppressive system has created such a dynamic. They know that the first thing they need to break is the black man. And a lot of women don't recognize that once you break the black woman, the black man, the black woman is next. And so they have played into the power that's given to us if we break black men. And unfortunately, a lot of women are, you know, it's emotional collateral, you know, that a lot of men end up on child support and probably shouldn't be, could work things out and things like that. But, you know, there's two sides to that. And there's definitely plenty of single black women, single black mothers that don't have that issue, that they are copacetic with their the fathers of their children. But I think it's a disgusting epidemic. I've done a lot of videos on those women that give single mothers a bad rap. But how about we just not have single mothers, period? That's, you know, I would just like to not have single mothers. Let's make sure that we have our men around. Like, let's choose men that'll stay around. Let's be aware of the type of man that would not, you know, the type of man that we would not be have longevity with, you know, and let's know ourselves enough to know what's best for us as well.
Facts. Yeah, and even on the other side of that, you know, there's a lot of, because, you know, a lot of the black men who are, or a lot of the black women who are, who do have multiple children or have children or are single mothers, there's a lot of them are to the same men. You know, this is more black women with children than there is black men. But I did an interview with King Randall last week. He made a good point. Like, because of that, you know, kind of unbalanced predicament that we're in with the women having so much more children, there should be black men mentoring more kids, you know, at least, or to taking up, you know, having some sort of responsibility for other children, you know. Do you think that's a part of like pro-blackness? You know, should some
absolutely. If you're not trying to create relationships with children that are not biologically yours in the black community, you're not really doing too much for the black community. The reality is we have to get in here and start affecting these children's lives because they are our future. The way they feel about the black community is going to reflect in 10, 20 years down the road when they're running our communities or they're the predominant figures in our communities. So we absolutely have to get in there. You know, if you don't want to be a stepfather, that's fine, but be a coach, you know, be a mentor to a few of these boys. Like, you don't have, it's not like you have to go out here and be coach to 50 children. Like, if you have that ability, please, by God, please do that. But if you're someone, you know, you have a skill that you could give a young brother, a young sister, like, do that. You got to get in here. You know, I've been working with kids since I was 13 years old, since I was a child. And one thing I know is that children just need love, man. They just need love and guidance. Give them something to do. Teach them a little something. It doesn't take much. Sometimes I grab the neighborhood kids and I'll be like, y'all want to learn how to make some jewelry? Like, you know what I mean? Just on some random shit, like just showing love, just letting them, you see them walking on the side of the street, give them a ride. Like just showing them that people care so that we can realize that we're all actually family, whether we're blood or related or not. And we could just take care of each other as a community as everyone else does. But we have been broken out of. We got to get it back together.
Yeah, that's that group thing. That's a fact.
Yeah,
B&B one. We do not play but our friends.